We're with Marty Biron now, and Marty, the Winnipeg Jets cleaned out their lockers today, a little earlier than they would have hoped, of course, but it was still an impressive season for the President's Trophy winners. In the end, how should the Jets look back on this season?
A successful disappointment. It was a successful year. Look, this was a historical season when you look at the Winnipeg Jets. 116 points, the most they've ever had, their first President's Trophy. Career year when you look at Cal Connors in terms of points, Mark Scheifele in terms of points, Gabe Vilardi, a career year, Cole Perfetti. Like, you've got so many really good stories to come out of this season. And really the battle in the playoffs. You look at the first round against the St. Louis Blues and Connor Hellebuyck having to battle his way to a Game 7 overtime, double overtime win. Like, that's just a lot of really good, successful stories. Now, you did lose in the second round, and your goal to win a Stanley Cup is still not even halfway there. Like, you need to get 2 more rounds victories, 3 more, because you only won 1 in this one, to be able to say that you've achieved your ultimate goal. But you lost to the Dallas Stars, who were ultimately the second best team in the toughest division, that central division between Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado were, in my opinion, the strongest, the toughest. And that's why I look at the Winnipeg Jets and say they had a successful season, right? Scott Arniel, as a head coach, how was that going to be? I think he was fantastic, able to push the right button, make some changes to the lineup, really keep him consistently going forward all season long. So when you look at the Jets, you say, okay, yes, is it disappointing? 100%. Is it disappointing for the organization, the fan base, the players? Yes. They had such hopes that they were going to go and maybe even win the Stanley Cup. But it was a successful season, one that you can continue to build on for the years to come.
That's right, of course. And now as we look forward, a lot of the Jets core is locked up, but Kevin Cheveldayoff does have decisions to make. He's got Ehlers, Tanev, Appleton, their UFAs. There are also some key restricted free agents as well, Marty. So what do you think should be Cheveldayoff's top priority this offseason?
I look at 2 priorities for the hockey operations to really try to fill in the offseason. Number 1 is a second-line center. That was a big priority, in my opinion, at the trade deadline. It was never addressed, right? Maybe they didn't see the right fit. So you've got Scheifele as your number 1 center. You got Lowry and that identity line as your number 3 center, but Nemestikov as 2, that's not as strong as you would want it to be. So I think that if you're going to lose Nick Ehlers, and we don't know what's going to happen, him being an unrestricted free agent, but you could always move Nemestikov to the wing, bring in a legitimate second-line center to solidify your top 9. I think that with that, it would put the Jets even in a better situation next year. When you look at down the middle, you can elevate Iafallo. He can play top 6 because he's proven that he can do it. You can have him lower in the lineup. So there's a lot that you can do with Perfetti taking a step forward. Obviously, your top 6 is strong, but I do feel like you need a second-line center as a top priority. And then I would look to your defense. Connor Hellebuyck is an all-world Vezina, hard candidate. I think that he's going to continue to do a great job, but your defense, you probably could look at the top 4. And imagine if the Jets had won in the second round and they continue without Josh Morrissey. You'd think, that's going to be tough. Pionk is good, but you need a top 4 defense to solidify your group there on the blue line and make sure that if Hellebuyck or anybody else is having an off night, your defense can hold it and be really strong in front of them.
Yeah, okay, Marty, now we count down 41 days until free agent frenzy to see what's going to happen, because like many GMs around the league, Kevin Cheveldayoff will have lots of business to take care of and not a lot of time to do it.